Thomas Foss. I'm a professor in the communications department, and I'd like to thank you all for coming to our mock symposium on the complete student. Today we have 8 students from the class of 26, and we have 1 from the class of 2024. Today's 9 speakers represent 8 different countries from around the world, each bringing their own perspective and insight. Each of the student presenters today are part of the CALM 1003 public speaking course. They have volunteered their time not only to get real world experience in public speaking, but also to provide you with information on a wide range of topics impacting college students in 2023. Doing the persuasive speech is part of their requirements, so I just ask if you'd silence your phone, keep conversations to out there, and all the decorum that you have at a symposium. So they will be doing expository speeches for you, unlike me, who is doing a manuscript, and I apologize, I wrote this about 10 minutes before we started, so bear with me, please. So why a mock symposium on the complete student? The better question may be, what is a complete student? Perhaps if we follow the dictates of Socrates when he said, the beginning of wisdom is the definition of terms. The word complete in the common vernacular can be indicative to something finished, as in, I completed an assignment. But let's go further with Cambridge Dictionary's 2 definitions as an adjective and as a verb. As an adjective, it can mean very great or to the largest degree possible. But when we look at complete as a verb, the meaning is to make whole or perfect. In this sense, complete becomes something active in the process of making perfect. Since we know, or at least I hope we all know, we are not perfect, and perfection only rests in the divinity of an omniscient, omnipotent, and all-loving God. So we should look at the word complete as in the pursuit of perfection at all times. Now let's take a microscope to the word student. It may seem a bit self-explanatory and obvious, but taking a different approach to getting the full meaning out of the word by its etymology. It comes from the Latin, bear with me, studiare. It has been a long time since I've taken Latin, so I'm sure I butchered that word. To be eager, zealous, or diligent to study. We can also bring the Latin noun discipulus. You may be more familiar with the term disciple, or a word you either love or hate, discipline. These also mean student. So now we can add the words together to form some semblance of an answer to the question, what is the perfect student? The perfect student is someone eager and zealous to study in the pursuit of perfection. So what does the journey of the complete student through the years of academia look like? The complete student is active, not passive. The complete student seeks perfection for themselves while still knowing the limitations of their own imperfection by disciplining themselves and taking charge of their own life and holding themselves responsible. The complete student has goals, ambitions, dreams, and puts a plan into place to achieve success. A complete student loves learning, even after their days in college are all over. The complete student will attend museums, art shows, concerts, lectures, the opera, films, or anywhere knowledge can be gained. They will read books, explore, travel, have quixotic adventures, converse, ask questions, and debate. They will do all this without asking, how much extra credit will I receive? They do it out of a love of learning, unlocking the mysteries of the universe, solving the riddles of our existence, and making sense of our own mortality are questions more important to the complete student than their GPA. The complete student knows a grade is earned and not given. They understand that some subjects are difficult and don't come naturally to them. And despite hours of study and work, there can be dignity in a well-earned grade of a C. Furthermore, to get the grades they want, a complete student is awake and attentive during class. Yes, that includes days dedicated to the syllabus. Probably right now, some of you may be regretting dozing off at that time. The complete student does not use class time to game, to text, to sleep, or to listen to music. Rather, they see this class time as an opportunity to explore and engage the depth and breadth of human knowledge. The complete student knows there's a time and a place for everything: relationships, parties, extracurriculars. The complete student builds up friends, family, and their community to make the world a better place. Today, our speakers will present on various topics to help you in your pursuit of becoming the complete student. To start things off, I'd like to introduce Adam Lopez from Dallas, Texas. Adam is a health science major pursuing a career in physical therapy. Adam is a member of the university's basketball team, and today he will be discussing the benefits of waking up early. Adam.
Thank you, Mr. Foss. Like you said, my name is Adam, and today I will be talking about the benefits of waking up early. Now, who here enjoys getting up early in the morning? That is more than I thought it would be. Well, I am not one of those people, but that's okay. Because I have found there are a lot of benefits for waking up early, especially for us as college students. Now, I've only been waking up early, I would say, for a couple of months now, ever since we got to college. That's because, like I said, I don't enjoy waking up early. But I found that waking up 30, 45 minutes earlier than I used to really helps me get through my day. You see, I'm not going to ask anyone here to wake up at 5 in the morning every day. No one wants to do that, no matter what they say. I just want you to think about the first thing you have to do in your day. Whether that could be going to the cab to get some breakfast, maybe it's getting some coffee from Starbucks, maybe it's just your first class of the day. Whatever it is, I want you to think about that and try and wake up 30 to 45 minutes before that happens. Why that much time specifically? Well, in a study done by the University of Arkansas in 2018, they found that the average human brain takes about 30 to 45 minutes to wake up fully before it can fully focus on any given task. This can include studying, writing, anything like that where you have to really focus on it. So you should give your brain at least that much time to wake up before you try to do anything. The second reason is that this time allows you to get up in the morning and get yourself ready without feeling rushed. Why do you want to avoid feeling rushed? Well, that's because feeling rushed in the morning, especially in the morning, can cause stress. And stress is very bad and can dictate how your entire day goes. Bringing me to my next point. It's following the point about stress. In a study done by the American Addiction Association in 2019, they asked college students, and they reported that 55% of college students reported saying that they experience very high levels of stress in their everyday lives, and they suffer some sort of mental or physical side effects because of this. This often comes from a feeling of feeling overwhelmed, not knowing what you're supposed to do. How do you combat this? It comes from a routine, and waking up early can be the basis of this routine. What this looks like for me is a simple mental checklist. I always try to do the same thing in the morning, whether that's waking up, brushing my teeth, getting some breakfast before going to class. It's simple. It sounds simple because it is simple, and that's all it really takes. I try and keep it simple. I try and do the same thing every day because that gives me a sense of ease, and that sense of ease helps me get through my day. This brings me to my final point. Decreasing the amount of stress you feel in your day can help you feel more productive. For me, this is very personal to me because I struggled when we first got here at college with feeling productive or feeling motivated to get through my day with all the work I had to do. But I found that waking up just this 30, 45 minutes early really helps me push through my day, go to class, pay attention in class, and get my work done. And that way, I can get my work done earlier in the day so I can go to sleep a little bit earlier in the day too. And that's the best part about this. In conclusion, I just want to urge everyone here to try waking up just a little bit earlier than they're used to. It doesn't have to be a big change, but a small change in your habit can have very profound effects on your everyday life and can help us all in the pursuit of being a more perfect student. Thank you.
Presenting next is Ramphis Perez from Panama City, Panama. He is majoring in political science and management. Ramphis will parlay his talents into one day running for the presidency of Panama. And if I am a resident, he definitely will get my vote. Today, he will be discussing the benefits of being an international student.
Thank you, Mr. Foss. So, study abroad is the single most effective way of changing the way that we view the world, by Chantal Mitchell. Being a college student is a difficult change because of the transition from high school to college. Now, imagine the sacrifice of the international student, even though it is the state where you have to leave your family, tradition of your native country. It leaves an open world of learning, experience, and opportunity. Hello everyone, my name is Ramphis Perez, and I am an international student from Panama. My experience as an international student has been an open field of emotion, opportunity, and has changed the way that I see the world. In other words, I will detail each benefit that being an international student has brought me. According to the article by Go Abroad, one of these benefits is acquire a better educational level and new teaching methods. The interaction with new professionals who has a different criteria to expose their knowledge, where we face as a radical change in the teaching system that made us to expand our knowledge. Also, continuing the academic preparation abroad provide a higher status by having a higher level in the educational system. Besides, to acquiring a better educational level and new teaching methods, other benefits are personal growth and development. Making the decision to study abroad allows us to be more independent and to be able to follow our own path. And as we go along this long road, we gain strength and confidence in ourselves. Also, we will learn to get to use new environments that allow us to becoming more flexible, tolerant, and open to change. And this strength will accompany us for the rest of our life. According to Forbes, this will be the boost that we need in our career and professional working life in the future, because everybody here know that the job environment is really competitive, and we are looking for a way for our resume to stand out. In addition to the bilingualism, your time abroad provides us to get the job that we want in the future. In conclusion, sincerely, for me, I take the best decision for being here in University of the Ozarks. And I invite all the people that have the same opportunity that take this decision, because it's the best way for you to prepare yourself for the future. Thank you very much all for listening to me.
Do you have some friends here or anything? Your campaign doesn't start for a few years, okay? All right. Following Ramphis, we have Laura Mercado. She is from Santiago, Dominican Republic, and majoring in biology. Lauren is studying to become a doctor one day. An interesting fact, she's a ballet dancer. Perhaps that is why she has chosen the topic of the benefits of physical activity for university students. Lauren.
Have you ever heard about the risk of a sedentary lifestyle? And despite that, you think that with your age, you don't need to maintain a sport routine, or every time you have excuses to start exercising. Well, my name is Laura Mercado, and I'm here to inform you that a sedentary lifestyle is a transport of cigarettes, alcohol, or any other drug, since it accelerates the aging of cells and decreases the mental and physical capacity of the organism. However, exercise will not harm us. On the contrary, it will give us as many benefits and satisfactions. Although we believe doing an hour sports or physical activity will tire us, the truth is that exercise is ideal to give us benefits and satisfactions. The body during training releases endorphins that make us feel better and help us to concentrate and focus. According to an article by the Sports Review, one of the main reasons a college student should be physically active is because it helps reduce stress. And everyone here knows that stress is one of the most frequent problems a college student go through. Academic demands, performance, and getting good grades generates anxiety and frustration. And guess what? Physical activity helps reduce the stress, the anxiety, and the frustration. Research has accumulated to suggest that regular participation in physical activity reduces the odds of experiencing clinical depression, and significantly decreases the anxiety, and improves mental and sleep. In addition to reducing stress, according to BMC Public Health, doing sports or physical activity encourages discipline, respect, and responsibility. Discipline is necessary to achieve any goal, and it is the first thing you learn when you do physical activity, as well as respect, responsibility, and commitment with your teammates and with yourself. All this cultivates in the athlete a feeling of nobility and acceptance of diversity. Another reason why you should join a team or do physical activity, according to the Sports Bank, is because you will develop teamwork and coexistence. Normally, the sports forces the students to work as a team, to collaborate with others, and learn that experience lies in the union of many. Physical activity has a positive impact on your leadership skills because it encourages decisive behavior. So, the importance of doing physical activity in college students is essential because you will not only enjoy an excellent physical condition, but it will also help you to maintain a balanced mental health. By exercising, we greatly favor the functioning of our brain. And if you also do sports where you have to think about tactics, strategies, and coordination, your brain will be motivated, and when studying, your analytical skills and coordination, concentration will be better. So, do not hesitate and start today an exercise routine, join a team, or participate in intramurals so you can improve your academic performance. Thank you.
Thank you, Lauren. Next, we have Gabrielle Rogers from Nassau, Bahamas, first in her family to attend college. Gabby is a health, science major, pursuing a career as an OBGYN. Gabby will be discussing the important topic of the importance of mental health.
Hey guys, my name is Gabriel. I am 19 years old. I am a second semester freshman, and today I'm going to be talking about mental health that affects just about everyone, including myself. Now, there are two topics in mental health that I'm going to be discussing today: men and young adolescents. Now, I'm going to ask this question, and you can be completely honest. What, on a scale of 1 to 10, what would you say your mental health is right about now? You don't have to say it. Say it in your mind. Doesn't matter. To me, I would say my mental health is about a 5. Not too low and not too high. Mainly because our mental health is very important. Now, I'm going to get back to the main topic. Did you know that suicide is the 12th leading cause of death in America? Did you know that in 2020, men committed suicide 3.8 times more than women? Crazy, right? Now, get this. In 2023, according to UCLA Health, it was reported that suicide skyrocketed in numbers to become the second leading cause of death in America among ages 15 to 24. Hard to believe, right? I know, which is why it is so important to discuss. With young adults in college like myself, our mental stability is very crucial to our education. It determines whether we cross the finish line or not. The struggles to deal with the homework and projects for each class, juggle it with time management and with practices and games, it's so tiring and we don't get any time to ourselves. We barely get any sleep. It is so frustrating and mentally draining because if we get no sleep and we have to wake up early for class early in the morning. It's not me who also has to wake up 8:30 in the morning to attend class. It's frustrating, okay? And it's frustrating and mentally draining, okay? Our mental stability is very important. Our parents and teachers don't understand the constant struggle it takes to succeed in college, okay? They don't understand that it's just us out there. There's no mom, there's no dad to wake us up for homework or to get us to practice on time or to take us to make sure we get up early for school. There's none of that. It's just us by ourselves. And college is a very stressful time for everyone, okay? Another problem that increases our mental instability is financial debt. How many of you, since you've been in college, have ever thought of, how am I gonna pay for my tuition? I know it's not just me. That financial debt is so draining and it increases our mental instability to allow us to not make our mental health good, right? I know so many people who had to drop out of college because of this. One of my best friends had to drop out of college because of this. She was a straight A student, you know, all her academics were good, but she couldn't afford to be in college. She couldn't even attend a full year of college, which is crazy. This problem needs to be resolved as soon as possible so that young, intelligent adults like her can be able to receive the best education possible without having to rely or think about how am I going to pay for this. Now that I've talked about mental health in young adolescents like myself, I'm going to talk about a subject that is very sensitive to me: men's mental health. It needs to be addressed with concern and importance. I'm not saying that men's mental health is more important than everyone, but men tend to deal with their emotions more different than everyone. In today's world and dating back years, men have never been able to express their emotion to the world, to express their emotion without getting somewhat of a negative feedback from the world, right? In the world, there is this stigma that men are supposed to be rocks. They're supposed to be tough and strong. They're supposed to be the one to cry on, the shoulder to cry on, but does not get the same amount of affection back from anyone else. I'm going to say a personal story that hopefully will reach some of you guys in the audience, okay? About a year ago, my 16-year-old brother passed away from suicide. He didn't feel that he could talk to anyone. He was hurt, he was in pain, he didn't have nowhere to turn. He was intelligent, he was smart, 4.0 GPA, a future career in basketball, a full-time scholarship at Ozarks, and all of that thrown away because he didn't feel like he could talk to anyone. His death really hurt our entire family. It destroyed everyone, you know. It affected all of us, my mom, my dad, my sisters who found his body, and even me being away in college, it affected me so much where I couldn't even focus on my education. His death, it shook us all, okay? It made us realize that our mental health is so important, okay? Now, there are so many people in the world who struggle with the same type of problem, okay? And today, I want to ask you guys, please talk to someone, communicate with someone, talk to anyone about how you're feeling. Don't feel like a burden to anyone because everyone here cares about you. I care about you, your students, the classmates, your friends, all care about you. And we don't want what happened to my brother to happen to anyone else. Up to this day, I still feel guilty because I wasn't the comfort he needed during that time. So please, I ask you, talk to someone. I really don't want what happened to my brother to happen to anyone else. We all care about you. And I hope that you take some type of lesson from my speech today. Thank you.
Next up, we have Crystal Mejia from Matagalpa, Nicaragua. She, just like Lauren, is a ballet dancer. She is double majoring in political science and sociology. Her intended career is Minister of Education in Nicaragua, which coincides well with her speech topic, the importance of political participation among the youth.
Do you think you are too young for participating in politics? Well, let's prove that notion wrong. Hello everyone, my name is Crystal Mejia and I'm a political science major and a freshman here at the University of the Ozarks. Today, as a young adult, I'm more than glad to share with you about the importance of political participation among the youth, as well as about the ways in which it can be increased around the globe. First of all, the term of political participation has to be defined. According to an article published in 2021 by Robert Longley, a history and government expert, political participation is about all those activities undertaken by the public in order to influence politics and policymaking, either in a direct way or an indirect way. Even if voting remains as one of the most important forms of political participation, it's not the only one. Participating in politics as a young person is more than just ticking a box at the polling station. It's also about getting involved in politics in more exciting ways, such as volunteering for a political campaign, take it out to the streets in peaceful protest, signing petitions, and working for a cause you believe in. There are many ways in which you can engage in politics. You just have to find the way that works best for you. Ultimately, the vibrancy and strength of many democracies is often measured by the level of political participation of its citizens. We have also to recognize the value of youth engagement in politics. But why does this happen, this low level of political participation among the youth? The phrase and statement, "don't get involved," is one of the most important factors when it comes to this. It's used to discourage young people from participating in politics, and it may come from sources such as teachers, peers, and unfortunately even political leaders. According to the United Nations, young people from 14 to 24 years old make up approximately 16 to 17% of the whole global population. However, these people are often underrepresented in politics and policy making around the globe. Politics are just for old and stuffy people that don't know something else better to do, right? Well, this is completely wrong. This is just one of the many misconceptions regarding politics and the participation among the youth. Voting doesn't matter. That's wrong as well. I have to be at least 18 in order to influence policy making in government. That's also incorrect. In order to understand the importance of political participation among the youth, we have to clear up these misconceptions. First of all, voting does matter. Even if from your perspective as an individual, you may think that voting, your single vote, is not going to make a difference in the final results of elections. Think about it in this way. What if all people or all citizens that are eligible for voting in elections thought in the same way as you? Then no one would vote, and ultimately you would end up realizing why your vote mattered in first place. One vote matters. Your vote matters. Another misconception about politics and the participation of the youth is that policies don't affect young people. The reality behind this is that policies affect everyone, despite of their gender, their class, their age, where they fall in the political spectrum. Politics affect everyone, from economics to gun safety, agriculture. All these areas are involved in policymaking. And elected representatives have to decide on these issues. This is why it's important to vote as well, because you're going to be able to elect these people that are going to take those decisions in Congress for you. These people are going to represent you, so you should raise your voice and have a say in these political matters. Another misconception about politics is that since young people are not experts in these fields, they should have a say in these issues. However, people that have achieved great things, not just in politics, in other areas as well, have been in the same spot as you, as learners. You have your whole life coming for you to learn about different things regarding policies. And now is the moment to start because you have lots of things to learn. Learning about politics and getting involved in civic action is going to benefit you because you're going to develop leadership skills as well as other abilities that are going to help you in your professional life. Besides these misconceptions, there are other things that may be involved in this low political participation of the youth, such as lack of knowledge, lack of interest, lack of trust in political institutions as well. And there may also be a factor involved with social barriers and cultural barriers. For example, women are sometimes not encouraged to participate in politics. They are discouraged from this even more than men. But despite these challenges, we have to remember that participating in politics as young people is one of the ways in which we can exercise our duties and our responsibilities as citizens. But the question that may come to you now is, how do I do this? And this is fair. First of all, vote. Once again, if you don't vote, if you don't raise your voice in order to elect your representatives in Congress, someone's going to take that opportunity for you. Here in the US, there are representatives for you in your district and in your state. You're going to take decisions that are going to directly affect your life and the lives of those you love. So you should use your right to vote and ultimately also exercise your responsibility as a citizen. It doesn't matter where you're from. Also, signing petitions is a good way to participate in politics. There are different websites that have been specifically designed for you to do this. So you should work for a cause you're interested in and also encourage your friends, people you relate yourself with, to do that as well. Another way to participate in politics is going to the streets in peaceful protests and to defend your interests. Also, another way that falls more under the individual level is to use your talents, things you're interested in. Maybe you are interested in solving difficult math problems, or you're a dancer. No matter where your interests or your talents fall in, you can always find a way to turn this into civic action. You should also contact your representatives in Congress because they're going to be able, since it's their responsibility, to hear from you feedback and to improve in the development of new policies, new upcoming policies that are going to affect you. As I said, there are different ways in which you can participate in politics. You just have to decide the one that fits best with you, with your personality, and is going to help you more to develop your skills as a young person. Participating in politics is going to help you develop your skills and to improve as a complete student, which is the topic we're focusing in. So let's empower our youth to participate in politics, since it's their essential right, and let's help them to develop themselves as the future leaders of our countries. Thank you.
Thank you, Crystal. Next, we have our second Texan of the day, Jonathan Fira, to present a topic on the benefits of outdoor recreation for college students. Jonathan is a true outdoorsman. He's an Eagle Scout, and he's a wildlife research major, and he depends on working in the outdoors. So, Jonathan.
So, in my opinion, what a student does in their off time is just as important as what we do in the time that we spend working on academics. And for myself and a lot of other people, that just means managing our stress. But for me in particular, that means outdoor recreation. So what I mean by outdoor recreation is just any fun activity that you do and that takes place in a natural space or environment. You might hear it called a green space sometimes. That can be anything from a multi-day backpacking trip to just sitting on a park bench and taking in a beautiful spring day. So why do I do this? Well, according to a 2017 study published in the Journal of Outdoor Recreation, Education, and Leadership, students who regularly engage in outdoor recreation activities experience reduced stress and are less likely to show symptoms of depression. I don't think I need to explain why that's important. But the most important thing I found in that article was that these students also exhibited the ability to turn stressful events into growth-inducing experiences instead of debilitating ones. Which, if you think about it, is kind of the whole point of coming to college in the first place, to build yourself up and to learn and to grow. So in keeping with that, some universities have actually taken this concept further and incorporated outdoor recreation into their curriculums. A study published by the University of Utah showed that the students involved in their program also exhibited the improved abilities with leadership, critical thinking, and in group work, all of which are important for our lives as students, but also after we graduate, when we go into the workforce. I was inspired to choose this topic because of my experiences as a scout and my experiences in the outdoors. And so when I made the decision to come here, that was one of the first things I looked at was what are the opportunities that I have while I'm here. And what I found out was not at all that surprising considering where we are. Typically, the biggest barrier that students have when getting involved in outdoor recreation is just accessibility. But it's the opposite here. That's the biggest advantage we have while we're at the University of the Ozarks. Most of the high dollar items that you would need to shoot for any given activity, you can just borrow from Ozarks Outdoors. You can go on one of the trips that they organize. But if you don't want to, there's the Ozark Mountains, there's the Buffalo River. Between Clarksville, Fort Smith, and Conway, there's 5 state parks to choose from, more designated recreation areas that I cared to count. So whatever your interest is, you can probably find it somewhere close by. So in conclusion, you have the opportunity while you're here to do a lot more than just academics, to learn a lot more from your experiences outside of that. And I would encourage you to all investigate it for yourselves. Find something you might enjoy for the rest of your life and have experiences that will impact the rest of your life. Thank you.
Next, from El Salvador, we have Diego Amaya, a psychology major who is undecided about his future career, but I'm told is an avid ping pong player and soccer player. Today, he is here to remind you the benefit of being a college student. Diego.
So I have a story about a really good friend. So this person used to have really low resources. once upon a time, he was studying, he was really good in his classes. But one day, he met a really good friend. This good friend one day told him, I want to give you a chance to go to college. So he said yes. And now, he's in a really good company, and he has a really good salary. That's the story of my dad. So, after hearing that story, I got a conclusion that most of our friends, most of our family, they don't have the chance to come to college. And we have to appreciate that chance. So being a student may be complicated for most of us. We complain whether living in the dorms, going to the gaff, or doing several projects. It's okay, because it's fine, because we're in college and it's usual to complain about different and complicated. But according to college data, here we can develop different skills, and that could be leadership. So when we go to college, we can go to different clubs, like a business or psychology clubs. And there you can apply or volunteer to be a leader. That can help you to develop, specifically on your major or on your minors, on that leadership skill. Because whenever you go to your company, you're going to apply to be a leader. You can be like real experienced here in college. You can learn how to do it and how to develop yourself. So this kind of skill like leadership can also help you with your resume. So when you go to a company and you want to get hired, you need that resume. According to the website Daily News, your resume is the most important thing for you. It can give employers a certain point of view about who you are, to show your skills, to show your interest. For example, us as international students, we have developed a second language, or even more. That's normal skill. But it doesn't matter if you're an international student or not. You have to develop certain skills for it. And in my case, it could be, or for most of us, the public speaking. That's something that it will be really helpful whenever you're in a company. So we also need to learn that after 4 years, we'll have this college degree. So according to Prep Scholar, a person with a college degree will earn a better salary in the company. A person with a bachelor degree earns $32,000 more than someone with just high school diploma. And also, they'll earn $1 million more with the course than someone with just high school diploma. So what can we learn about all of this? We need to go to college because it's important. It is important for most of us. Because in that way, we can learn skills, we can learn our interests, and we can identify our major. Also our minors. And in that way, in the future, we can earn a really good salary. That basically will avoid the stress, because whenever you go to a job, and the fact that you are just in college, it'll be really good for your resume. So go to class, learn from your professors, learn from your advisors. My name is Eva Maya, and I major in psychology. Thank you.
Our second to last presenter today is Rasta Rimbo. Hold for applause. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay. He is from Dar es Salaam, Tanzania. He is undecided on his major, but he is working his way toward becoming a professional soccer player. Today, he will be talking about the subject of too much screen time. Rasta.
Have you ever asked yourself that your life is in danger without knowing what you're doing wrong? Hello everyone, my name is Rasta Rimbo. And today I'd like to talk about too much screen time. By starting off, what is screen time? Well, screen time refers to the amount of time we spend on our screens, such as our phones, computer, and televisions. In today's digital age, it's almost impossible to avoid screens. Why? Because most people nowadays are spending over 10 hours weekly looking at the screen. That's not usual. But according to Data Space, Too much screen time can lead to a already bad headache. Using screen time a lot can lead to a negative effect on our physical and mental health. Well, according to Mayo Clinic, there's high chances of hurting your eyes if unknowing. On top of this, too much screen can lead to a eye strain and distracted sleeping pattern. Additionally, it can increase the risk of heart disease and diabetes. So, how can we prevent our screen time? I've got 3 tips to present to you. And I want you all, before leaving this room, to use them or apply them to your life. First, set a limit. Set a limit to yourself. Set a specific amount of time that you like to spend each day and stick to it. Second, take a break. Take a break to rest your eyes or to stretch your body or by engaging in different activities. Third, turn off screen before bed. Cool, oh my God, this is a big one. Turning off screen before bed. And most of us don't do that because nowadays there's this social media called TikTok. We love going over there, spending at least 3 hours straight scrolling up and down. We found out that we're killing our health. So, according to one of my favorite doctors, most people are attempting to put themselves in the worst spot and expecting the right thing to happen. Now, in reality, if you ever put yourself in a bad spot, the worst thing will happen to you. If you put yourself in the right spot, the right thing will happen to you. So, ladies and gentlemen, be aware of your health. Stay away from screen timers. Before leaving this room, I want you all to apply these simple 3 tips that I present to you today. Just set a limit to yourself. Take a break and turn off screen before bed. It's so easy to do them. You don't need anything, but you only need one of the biggest things, of the discipline. Set a discipline to yourself. Because everything that you do in life without discipline, you cannot do anything. Now, the real question is, are you willing to use these little simple tips for your better health and you don't have to thank me later on in your life? Thank you so much.
Our final speaker for today is Asa Maloku. He is a major in accounting, and his career aspirations are accounting, finance, and politics. When I heard what I'm about to tell you for the first time, it became the inspiration for the event you see today. He told me he wants to be the president of his home country of Zimbabwe, and I thought we need to practice. And so today he will be presenting a topic of It's Only You. Awesome.
Thank you, Professor. Okay, raise your hand if you've ever played with snakes and ladders, or just what? Right, that game where you throw the dice, you skip the snakes and use the ladders. All right, perfect. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I want you to imagine the game Snakes and Ladders. Now, when you look at that game, you should be able to see the snakes, the ladders, the boxes, box number 1 to box number 100, the pieces and the dice that you use to prepare yourself forward. Now, looking at this board clearly and using your analytic mind, you should see how it clearly relates to our lives as human beings. What do I mean by this? I mean that we have snakes in our lives, but then I don't mean that if you go to Rasto's room, you're going to find 2 very big cobras that he's bringing. No, that's not the case. I also don't mean that if you come to me after this session, I'm going to hand you a ladder. That's not the case. The philosophy here is simple. When I'm talking about snakes in our lives, I just mean that we got problems. And every human has got their own problems. Now, the kick is simple. How do we deal with these problems? There is 2 things that we need to do as complete students, as complete human beings. And these things, ladies and gentlemen, are being mature and being independent. Or, let me just say, mind your own business. The first thing about minding your own business, ladies and gentlemen, comes with so much responsibility. Be humble. Shut up. Don't share your dreams with everybody. Because if there is somebody who wishes the worst for you, it's your own friends. Do you know that you got fake friends and good friends? Now, these people are the people who wish the worst for you. Now, if you go around just sharing everything you got, you just bought a new car and everybody knows that he's got a new car, you just got a high grade and everybody knows he's got a high grade. Those are the same people that are going to wish the worst for you. You're doing nothing but attracting ill will and heartbreaks to yourself. Now, the second thing is being mature. Being mature again comes with knowing where you have to be. Being at the right place, with the right people, at the right time, for the right purpose, doing the right thing. That's being mature. That's being a so-called complete student. And ladies and gentlemen, by doing this, you are able to kill the snakes. You are able to kill the snakes that come with just pushing yourself out there to people who should not know what you do in life, to people who should not know your successes and dreams. You should know, ladies and gentlemen, that I have friends, but within those friend groups, there is bad friends and there is good friends. And if they are good friends, they're bad. If they're bad friends, you need to cut them off. Cut them off. Simple as that. Even Kenny Rogers says it. The secret to survival that's known to every gambler is knowing what to throw away and knowing what to keep. The same thing applies to you, ladies and gentlemen. Know what friends you should keep and what friends you should throw away. That will help you. That will help you. Now that's dealing with the snakes using those two very big things. The next thing that we are going to move to on that snakes and ladders board is the ladders. Those are your helpers, right? The thing that allow you to make your steps to box number 100 shorter. What are these things? We've got family members. We've got professors here at college. We got that one real friend. Why did I say so? Because for every bad thing that happened, you get bitten by a snake, you need an antivenom, right? For every bad thing that happens to you, there is that one friend who always comes and says, my friend, it's going to be okay. For every emotional problem that you face, your family members are always there for you, right? For every problem that you face in this academic situation, our professors are always there. And so, they are there to help us. So we should be able to use these ladders to get ourselves to the top. That's what being a complete student means, ladies and gentlemen. It means knowing what you have to do. It means avoiding the steps on your way up to box number 100. It means avoiding the snakes and making use of the ladders and knowing where you have to be and knowing what people you have to associate yourself with. That's being a so-called complete student. Now, ladies and gentlemen, what I want you to know before I get off this stage is that I care about you all. I love you, and I wish the best for you. I want you to walk out of this room, change people. So if I were you, I would take this advice. Because this is your life and nobody's else. This is your life and you should focus on your dreams. Focus on only you, because the life is only about you. It's about your success. And ladies and gentlemen, good night.
Thank you, Asa. Thank you all for coming today. Thank you to all of our presenters. I'd like to give them one more. One last note on the complete student that you all taught me. I think that it is very important that you don't sit back and wait for an opportunity as a student. You create your own opportunities. And the 9 students here created their own opportunity. I hope this enriches you all in your careers going forward. And remember this experience. Thank you for sharing today. Thank you again, everyone.